Testing, 1, 2, 3. We're so excited to have so many of our students to honor today. If we have any members of the public who are hoping to be addressed during hearing of the public, if you would fill out one of the blue forms and turn it into me, I would appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight at the Tuesday, October 24th, 2023 regular session of the Mason City Schools Board of Education. The board's been in a work session and is now ready to convene this regular session. So with that, the next item on our agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'd please stand and join me. All right, the next item on our agenda is our superintendent's presentation. Jonathan?
Thank you. All right, I think I have the mic on. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. Welcome to our board meeting tonight. It's in a different location because we have such a great turnout for some of our presentations this evening. The first presentation that we are going to start with is each and every month we have a presentation called Wayfinding. And the Wayfinding video that we show each month tells a bit of our story. It shows, it's a deep dive into one portion of our district. We have a large district with 10,500 students, 1,300 employees. It's a big district, and so sometimes it's nice to just hear stories lifted up so that people can help find their way through our district and see a little bit more of comic culture. Are we ready? So Tracy's going to go ahead and get the video started.
Wayfinding moment highlights Mason mom and Wayfinder Michelle Taro, who recently helped spearhead our district's Hispanic Heritage Mirrors and Windows celebration, giving our Hispanic community opportunity to see themselves in dance, song, food, sport, and activities, a mirror, and giving the broader community a window into stories and celebrations both different and similar to their own.
All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you to you and Amanda for putting this together. Thank you for hosting another wonderful Mirrors and Windows event for our families. What a beautiful video and beautiful voices and music, and it looked like wonderful food as well. So thank you. If you've not been to a Mirrors and Windows opportunity in our district, that is something that I highly recommend coming to learn more about the beautiful cultures, food, and traditions throughout our community. So please, you are invited to join us. Our next presentation this evening for superintendent presentation is our National Merit Scholars presentation. I'm going to invite one of our high school administrators. I know he is around here. There he is, Dan Distel. Dan Distel, if you'd make your way up to the podium, and as Dan is making his way over to the podium to share a little bit more about our presentation this evening, you can look around the room. We are a large high school, the largest in the state, but we also have the largest number of students that qualify for this scholarship around the state of Ohio. It is an honor to be in this room with you, and I want to formally congratulate all of our students and our families for the support that you've given them along the way to earn this moment. So we'll turn it over to
One note you might ask is we could ask our National Merit semifinalists to kind of.
So all of our National Merit Scholars, if you would go where Mrs. Carson is pointing and Dr. Brennan, they're going to help organize you. So if you are a National Merit Scholar, if you would begin to line up over in this area, and what we're going to ask you to do, yep, go ahead, you can move over that direction. What we're going to ask you to do is to share your Mason moment. And remember, a Mason moment could be unique to you, a special moment that has been sticks in your memory as a celebration. It could be with friends. It could be a moment on the field or court or in a classroom. You're going to come across the stage, and I'm going to go ahead at this time and turn it over to Mr. Distel. And Mr. Distel, after they get done coming across the stage and sharing their Mason moment, we're going to have the scholars be right over here and meet me for a handshake, and then we're going to keep them around for a picture. Okay? So parents, once we get them all lined up for a picture, you will have an opportunity to run over and grab a picture. We'll help you get that organized.
And we're doing our National Merit semifinalists first. We'll ask them to just stand over and wait. Then we'll have our commended scholars, and then our African American, our Hispanic, and our rural scholars coming, just so you have that in your brains.
Great.
All right, good evening. Thank you all. It really is a true pleasure here to be here this evening to honor these 74 students here that are our 2023-24 National Merit Scholarship Award recipients. Approximately 1.5 million high school students each year enter into take the PSAT, typically during their junior year. In each fall, students earn scores, recognize them as either National Merit Scholars or commended scholars. We are delighted to share these 74 students with you all here this evening. We are extremely proud of their accomplishments, not just because of how they perform on this test, but really truly because of what these kids bring to our building each and every single day. All of the intangible things that don't go into a test score, they make our building much better because they're here. So we just really do appreciate their presence here tonight, and thank you so much for your hard work.
Hi, my name is Estelle Apewakin, and my Mason moment was going to my first Science Olympiad competition my sophomore year, and our team got first place, so that was really exciting to experience.
My name is Yash Bapat, and my Mason moment is homecoming this year.
My name is Haram Chakravarti, and my Mason moment would probably also be homecoming.
Hello, my name is Grace Chi, and my Mason moment would be flying back from nationals as part of the Science Olympiad team.
I'm Shveta Godboll, and my Mason moment's probably my first homecoming.
Hi, my name is Arushi, and my Mason moment was going on a retreat with all the Stuco officers.
Hello, I'm Omar Hobley, and my Mason moment is making all my high school friends and eating lunch.
Hi, my name is Rishika Jayaprakash, and my favorite Mason moment is presenting and speaking at Comic-Con.
Hi, my name is Ananya Karthikeyan, and my Mason moment was the senior sunrise.
Hi, my name is Rena, and my favorite Mason moment has been playing a solo in marching band this year.
I'm Andrew Little, and my Mason moment was broadcasting the state final basketball tournament with Mason Sports Radio.
Hi, my name is Rishabh, and my Mason moment was when we beat Springboro in the playoffs last year.
Hi, my name is Shreya Parthasarathi, and my Mason moment was our Boston trip to MIT for the Science Olympiad Invitational.
Hi, my name is Nathila, and my favorite Mason moment is watching the drama club shows come together every year.
Hello, I'm Alex Riley, and my Mason moment is being able to represent the school on the national level with the marching band.
Hi, my name is Nura Salem, and my favorite Mason moment is senior sunrise.
Hi, I'm Josiah, and my Mason moment's actually 4, because at the beginning of the year I get to meet all the teachers, and the teachers are really nice.
Hello, my name is Victoria Tang, and my favorite Mason moment is doing 8th grade tour for SIBS.
Hi, I'm Shrindi, and my favorite Mason moment was probably the first edition of the Chronicle this year.
Hi, I'm Jason Wang, and my Mason moment was traveling with the chess team to DC for nationals.
My name is Shani, and my favorite Mason moment was going to nationals representing Mason Science Olympiad.
Hi, I'm Annie Yee, and my favorite Mason moment is doing science experiments with little kids for Science National Honor Society.
We're actually going to take everybody for the whole thing together. So, we're
So
gonna
the next
leave.
group can come up?
They're gonna
All right, so hang tight right here.
All right, if our commended scholars are here, you guys can come up as well. Commended scholars.
You might have to do a little consolidating over here just so we're coming off of here. While we're waiting here, just a quick intermission here. We have one of the reasons we ask our students to share their Mason moment, this is something we've been doing for a few years now, is because it's just a great reminder that, yes, academics are very important and we get that, but there's so much more to the William Mason High School experience and the Mason Comet experience. And so we always love to hear the diversity of experiences that our kids are having and investing in and what's shaping them. So hopefully that's as enjoyable to you as it is to us to hear all their Mason moments. All right, and I think we're time for our next group to come on up.
My name is Rachel Aurora, and my favorite Mason moment would have to be making science experiments for the Cub Scouts through Science National Honor Society.
My name is Sathvik Bandalapati, and my Mason moment is homecoming this year.
My name is Akil Gunda, and my favorite Mason moment would be homecoming this year.
Hi, I'm Nikhil Gunda, and my favorite Mason moment this year was going to homecoming.
Hi, I'm Elena, and my favorite Mason moment has been helping the littler kids play at their orchestra concerts.
I'm Abby Kettler, and my Mason moment is singing with my a cappella group.
Hi, I'm Kavya Kadalkar, and my Mason moment has been meeting international students who are new at Mason this year.
I'm Zachary Lynch. My Mason moment is winning the Ultimate Frisbee State Tournament 3 years in a row.
Hi, I'm Renika, and my Mason moment is spending time with my friends.
Hi, my name is Debbie Wang, and my Mason moment has been rebuilding the school's rain garden.
Hi, my name is Lance Sang, and my favorite Mason moment was competing at nationals with the Science Olympiad team.
Right, now we will have our National African American recognition as well.
You got to come back up. Come back up. You can give another Mason moment. Yeah.
Okay. You get to do it again.
Hello, I'm Estelle, and another Mason moment of mine was competing at nationals with my dance team.
Hi, I'm Emilio Gomez de Leon, and my Mason moment is getting to reconnect with old friends during Comet Connect time.
Okay, this is I mean, you thought you did the hard part already, but this is the hard part. So come on over here. You're going to listen to Mrs. Carson. She's going to organize you right up here for a picture. We're going to grab a picture of everybody. So start walking this way. Yep, come right over here.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us here tonight. Thank you, Jonathan, for facilitating, and Mr. Dissel for facilitating that presentation. I just want to acknowledge that as a board, we're all very proud and humbled by your accomplishments here in the district, particularly as you share your favorite Mason moment since your time here as Comets. We know that the path to where you've arrived here has been long and hard, but we know that you guys are going to only be going up from here, and this is just the beginning, and we can't wait to see what else you accomplish. I want to turn the mic over to any of my other fellow board members with comments and thoughts as well.
Well, I just add my congratulations as well, and for each of the students here, I want you to know that you play an important role in the hallways here at Mason High School. I know sometimes it's hard, sometimes, some things can be overwhelming, but all your classmates look up to you. You set the bar high for each of them, and you add to the culture here in a really important way. It's not just academically, but all the other activities that we heard up there is part of your overall well-rounded characteristics that we're so proud of, and we wish you all the best in your futures, which will be very bright, of course. We also thank each of the parents for your support over the years, and we congratulate you too, because we know how proud you are, and we share that pride as well. So thank you.
Shout out to the Science Olympiad team. Sounds like you guys were well represented up there, as well as Science National Honor Society. When you look at our school being the largest high school in the state, the level of excellence that you guys have achieved is extraordinary. And for those of you that have younger siblings and in this community, you're looked up to, as Kevin said. So continue to shine brightly as you have and lead the way. We'll be cheering you on no matter what the next step in your journey is. You're always a Comet, so we're going to need you to come back and continue to share your special gifts and talents. So don't forget about us when you take off.
Congratulations to each one of you tonight. I know it took a lot of work, a lot of commitment on your part to achieve the levels that you've accomplished, but I will say that as a parent and a grandparent as well, it's truly touching to see your kids excel. And my favorite shot of all time during my tenure on the board is several years, I have a picture of all of the parents who were standing out there taking a picture of this group. And if you'll notice how many rounds we had to go to make sure everyone got their shot, it speaks volumes of how proud we all are of all of you. So congratulations, and just keep up the great work.
So this is always one of my favorite evenings of our school board meetings of the year, because just seeing the families here, the parents with the students, and how proud you are of them, how proud we are of your students, and their Mason moments, love it, absolutely love it. And Kevin always points out that the favorite Mason moment isn't being a merit scholar, it's all the other things that make up who you are as a Comet here and what you've learned in your years at Mason High School. So I am very proud, and I know you are all so well prepared on your next journey in your life as you graduate high school and move on, and you're the future leaders, and we're so proud that you are ours. Thank you.
And I think it's been said already, but we just would like to acknowledge one more round of applause for each of the students and all of their families that have made it here tonight. At this time, I believe that concludes our superintendent's presentation. Is that right, Jonathan? Yes. Okay. This is normally a time in our board meetings when we take a pause, and particularly on this evening when we know we have so many of you who have set forth some high standards for your commitment to homework and studying. We want to honor that and honor you in being able to proceed with your evenings. You are welcome to stay for the remainder of the board meeting if you like, but we understand if you have other pressing obligations to attend to. So we'll take a brief pause to allow those of you who wish to proceed with your evening. Thank you, everybody. All right, is this working? Great. If those who are still here, if you wouldn't mind finding a seat. Or just keeping whatever conversations to a dull roar. We'll go ahead and proceed with the next item on our agenda. This item is number 6, hearing of the public. It's been a little while since we've had participation in our hearing of the public portion of the meeting, so typically when we do have folks that are interested in speaking and addressing the board at the hearing of the public, we go over what our typical rules for hearing of the public are. Community participation at a board meeting is limited to this portion. Each person who participates is allotted 3 minutes until the total time is used. In order to prevent disclosure of students or employees' private information, we try to limit hearing of the public and prohibit specific complaints regarding student privacy or different employees of the district. This is a channel of communication that the board opens up to our community. It's one of several channels that we have. Obviously, we have email correspondence, we have telephone correspondence, and this is a unique forum that we have because of the place in our agenda that we make hearing of the public available. So while we do appreciate hearing from members of the public during this portion of our board's meetings, this is not a time where the board will take any action. This is not a time where the board votes on any matters, and it's not a time where the board engages in any dialogue with participants in hearing of the public. I say that just to say that for those who have not visited a school board meeting before, who have not seen how these hearings of the public typically go, please don't take offense if your words, we allow you to speak and we hear from you. We just don't get into a back and forth here. We do appreciate hearing from you, though, and so for those who would be interested in a longer dialogue or conversation, I know that we would be happy to make ourselves available. I know our superintendent would as well. We have several participants here tonight, and before we get started, I do want to just address, I see the common theme in the members who will be addressing the board tonight dealing with what's going on right now as far as the conflict in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine, as well as just how the district has responded in recent weeks as far as that conflict goes. I know I've heard from a lot of folks personally. I know from via email, as well as our superintendent and our administration. And any time that our district falls short of our goal of making everybody feel included, making everybody feel safe and welcome, we take it to heart. And so I just want to reiterate that on behalf of our board and on behalf of our superintendent and our administration, we do appreciate hearing the concerns that have been shared with us in recent weeks. I know that some of you have taken the opportunity to have extended discussions and dialogue with our administration, and for how this situation has transpired, how it's impacted your families, and how it's made your students in particular feel within the walls of our buildings. On behalf of our district, I'm sorry that the ideals that we have for making everybody feel included, making everybody feel welcome, has fallen short in some regards. So with that being said, and with the guidelines that we typically follow and that we have reiterated here, I want to invite our first member up to the podium to speak. Mr. Bevan is our timekeeper. If his timer goes off, please don't take offense. We just try to keep consistent with our 3-minute time restriction. Miss Brandy Holmes.
You have to bear with me because I was planning on using the computer, but I'm using the phone. So
Could you just make sure you speak into the microphone?
Yes.
So that thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank
Okay. I'm here on behalf of my community to discuss 2 recent incidents: unjust censorship of student clubs and triggering words used in a district-to-families email. The first thing I'm going to discuss is the MSA post. An Instagram post was created, signed, and posted by 2 Mason High School clubs, also by a couple of neighboring school districts. The post is still up on one of the Mason High School clubs, and it's also still up in neighboring school districts. However, the district asked the Muslim club to change the wording, and when the students asked what would happen if they didn't, they were told that there would be consequences. Mason High School targeted and censored Muslim Student Association in part because there are no standards or guidelines or policies or procedures around those student clubs. No trigger, the post was simply called for prayer and was factual in its content and stated support for Palestine. No trigger words were used, no negative language, no one or entity was called out or singled out. Secondly, the district email. The day after this incident, the district sent an email to every household with students using unnecessary trigger words. These trigger words set the tone for conversations in the homes of our district. This email set our students up for a very uncomfortable next couple of days. Our community is hurt, disappointed by the district's actions. I hear Mason stands for an inclusive environment, but the district's recent actions are not indicative of such claim. Mistakes happen. It is how we choose to move forward that matters. It's your leadership that will make the difference to our students who are hurting. True inclusive leadership will be able to rise above these issues and biases, any biases. Our community is waiting for your leadership and action in the following points. Please send another email, one that reflects empathy for all involved. Second, create a policy followed by a process for emails like this in the future. Third, another policy and followed by a process for student-led clubs. When students asked their administrators, about guidelines for these clubs, they were told, the only thing that they were told was that they had to be neutral. What does that mean? No clubs are neutral. I mean, we have clubs like the Good Book Club. We have, which is a Christian club, MSA, a Muslim club, LGBTQ. Each and every one of these clubs, each and every one of these clubs stand for their beliefs. I hope you have heard our concerns. We have faith in our leadership that you will create policies to prevent biases in our school district and to help establish equality in our district. Let's model the true practice of inclusive excellence. Thanks you.
Thank you. I'll apologize in advance if I don't pronounce every name quite right. Our next speaker, Waifa Sheikh.
Basically, why I'm here today is communication, because it's quite intimidating the way that I'm a cardboard cutout and so many Muslims are cardboard cutouts for Western stigma and media to absolutely affect our lives. And for also to be here at school where multiple Muslim students have been undergone and silenced while they go through racially motivated things, even me myself. So I'm here to communicate because like Khalta Brandy said, we tried to send emails to communicate because MSA is kind of like our kind of safe haven in this time. And it was the way that we got responded back that I feel like I needed to stand here and communicate that I want this to be absolutely just recognized, talked about, and we need to sit here and solve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker, Abdelrahman Salah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Abdurrahman Saleh, and I want to tell you about my story of when I went to the West Bank. Before I start, I just want to say there's no Hamas in the West Bank. So this summer, me and my mother, we went to the West Bank, right? So we were there for about 20 days, and we had spare time to go to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is our holy place. So sadly, there was a checkpoint, and me and my mother, we were sent back because they saw me as a threat. An 8th grader, a 13-year-old boy, and an American citizen, they saw me as a threat. And I was also offended by the email you guys sent. It makes me seem as if I'm not equal to the other kids, because it makes me seem as if I'm not equal to the other kids in Mason. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Nabil Gobril.
Thank you, Mr. President, Superintendent, esteemed member, for giving me that chance. I'm a father of 5 kids here in Mason School. I decided to come to Mason specifically 5 years ago to have a safe environment, high education for my kids, and I'm here to make sure of this. I'm here to make sure that if one of my kids stands here one day and when you ask them about their favorite Mason moment, it won't be the moment that we're oppressed because they expressed their opinion. We should not oppress any of our kids when they express their opinion or senses toward one side. We should stay neutral. I'm not here to educate or debate about the Israeli-Palestine occupation or about any ideology here. I want to make sure that my daughter won't experience an emotion distress because her friend being called or labeled a certain way by the high school administration because they just expressed their opinion, or because one of my kids' friend, her hijab were pulled and she called terrorist because she just expressed her opinion. I'm here to make sure that you're gonna make sure that we have a safe environment here. Or one day, Star Wars movies will be banned because resilience fighting against the first order are a terroristic thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Layla Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi, my name is Layla Sheikh. I graduated from Mason about 2 years ago. I'm currently a second year at UC, and I just kind of wanted to offer more of a nuanced perspective on some of the safety concerns and just more context to the situation. So first and foremost, at my time here at Mason, I was very involved. I was the founding member of Hope Squad, Inclusive Excellence Team. There's literally a mural of my face on the stairs in the lobby. I was a part of student government and basically everything you can think of. What I also did is I took time out of my day as a student to educate faculty on how to cater to Muslim and Arab and especially Palestinian students, with the hopes that my sister wouldn't have to come up here and speak to you all, with the hopes that my cousins and my members of my community wouldn't have to come up here and continue to basically scream at the top of our lungs, this is how you respect us as students in a public school. And I'm frankly a little bit disappointed because the current hostile environment that is taking place, obviously there's only so much we can do as a district, but what we should not do and what we should never do is tell the students to silence themselves. Because with all the accomplishments I did while at this school, I did it as a Muslim Palestinian woman. And whether you like it or not, that's what's in my blood, that's my origin. It's not too controversial for students to share where they come from, especially when they're trying to have these conversations in class. What I'm proposing to you is how do we ensure the safety of students and how do we ensure that faculty understands how to have these spaces and have these conversations. Because what I also do at the University of Cincinnati is I'm the founder of Students for Justice in Palestine there. I've been harassed, I've been followed, I have had my phone tampered with, I've had my accounts tampered with for just doing my basic right of speaking out. So I cannot even fathom what the students are going through with just a bunch of immature teenagers, even though, only 2 years ago. But I also work very closely with the Council on American Islamic Relations, which is a national civil rights and advocacy group here, and they do have a chapter in Ohio. They have told me that they have not received this many cases of discrimination since post 9/11. This is how dangerous the environment is getting. I'm not sure if you're all aware, but last week there was a 6-year-old that was stabbed 26 times. That was in my mosque that I grew up in before moving to Ohio. That was my community who was affected. This is happening all over the place. For us to tell students to be neutral or silence themselves, and even some of the rumors I'm hearing from the students of how faculty is even speaking to them and interacting with them for wearing certain cloths or certain colors is extremely disheartening, because we can do so much better as a district, and I'm just really disappointed that I took all that time out of my day as a student when I should have been learning and doing my homework to sit down and educate faculty and students on how to just respect me as a person. I went through my scarf being pulled off. I went through being called a terrorist. I went through all these things in hopes that my cousins and my siblings in this community here would not go through that, and I'm extremely disappointed. And I'm just also here to offer my resources and my support as a community, and that's what we're here to do, because we see how much this district has continued to strive for inclusive excellence. And I was a part of the student aspect of that as well, and the physical environment, all the things that we've hung up. So I just really hope and pray that we take action and you hear us out and you take us up on our offer for our resources. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Once again, thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate your engagement, and to those that have not already reached out via email or set up a time to talk or have a phone conversation, again, I know our district leadership team would welcome that, and as would the board as well. This is just a limited public forum that we open up during our board meetings, but I'm sure any one of us would be happy to have an extended dialogue with those of you who are interested. So thanks very much again. This is also a time in our meetings where we happen to take a pause just so that you may get on with your evenings as well. You're welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting as we pass other resolutions and do board work and things like that, but we understand if you have other places you would prefer to be. So thank you again. That's not the student section, folks. All right, as we are winding down with the moving on with our evenings, we'll just go ahead and keep going here tonight. If you wouldn't mind trying to let us get going, we will move forward. So item number 7 on our agenda is resolutions. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just quickly, just a quick note here. We've been
just
closer.
Get closer.
We have been working through an opportunity with a Mason family and their student, and we've had super close. There we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's like rapping. Yeah. You're right on it.
Just beatbox
Dance,
into it.
yeah, singing right into it.
We have been working through an opportunity with a Mason family and their students, and we've been able to come to work together with them on coming up with an education-related agreement. This resolution allows us to execute that agreement and go ahead and move forward with implementation.
All right, thank you, Sean. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling? Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 8, superintendent's recommendations, personnel items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And any discussion?
Yeah, just a really quick run through. This is a big document, so it's good for people that it might be at home checking this out. They understand what we have here. We have, as you click into the spreadsheet, it shows each section of the people that are being hired or added into new opportunities throughout the district. So you'll have substitute teachers coming on section H. We're always welcoming more substitute teachers. So if you're out there and you're thinking about trying something in the district, please consider substitute teaching. We have other folks in here for professional development members who help with our professional development planning and help with teachers, as in here as well. There are some teachers and folks at the middle school that participate in the science and math, the TIMS, I think, reporting, which is a report that you can go on and see more about. And they had a stipend for being a part of that program. That's a national program, or maybe even an international program, as I'm saying that. And then as you scroll through the rest, there's all kinds of other folks that are coming on to serve in lots of different ways that make all these opportunities possible for our students. The other one I'll just mention to you, I believe we have a retirement on here that is, Todd, who do we have retiring? We have a gentleman retiring from maintenance in February, correct? And I don't know how long he's been here, but... 25 or 27 years. All right, so maybe 20... So Mark Lewis is maintenance. He's been serving for quite a while here, and we appreciate Mark. He's not retiring quite yet, so we have some more work for him, but that will show up in February. And then we do wish Daryl the very best. Daryl's been a dedicated mechanic here, and has to take some time to retire now. We just wish him and his family the very best in that next chapter of his life. So thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling? Yes. Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 9, superintendent's recommendations, action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Thanks, Mr. Galvin. We have 3 items here in the superintendent recommendation. The first is the Catapult Learning Agreement that is with St. Sue Schools. If you're not familiar, St. Sue is a school that's in our district, and when they sign agreements like this, it comes through us. We are their financial agent for that, so this is a reading support for students there at St. Sue, and just representing right here on our agenda. Item B is for a revised substitute teacher pay rate. So just really quick context to that. You heard me ask for more substitute teachers. We'll always need more substitute teachers. But one of the things that we recognize as we worked with our teachers, we do a pay study from time to time to make sure that our folks are always in market. And as we were doing our study and looking at where the market was in the area, we recognize that most of the market in our local region went up $25 a day. So we're moving from $100 a day to $125 a day for daily rate for our substitute teachers. So please pass that word on. And thank you to our sub teachers for bringing that to our attention and working with us on that. I know Tanya has done a lot of that work, and we appreciate you getting that study completed for us. Item C, really exciting. This is right here at Mason High School. You're going to hear us talking about Dream Centers. Dream Centers, we have one at MECC, and we're going to have one at every school, but a Dream Center actually stands for, this is an acronym, but just think of dreams come true in these spaces. We connect kids to innovation and careers, and eventually these centers will also become a place where we engage our community as well. So this is actually approving a bid that we looked at. We had several bids come in for this project at the high school, so we're taking what was once a library, then a media center, and a learning commons, and now it is evolving to its next best iteration to the Dream Center of Innovation. And we are super excited about what this will be. I can't wait for the ribbon cutting to invite all of our community back to see this. But this is the bid to approve to go forward so that we can actually get the work started. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Any additional discussion? All All right, hearing none. Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Yingling? Yes. Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Gobbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 10, Treasurer's Report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion?
What we have on the agenda this month is we have our financial reports for the month of September, and then also approving some donations that we have received, over $8,000 this month from various members of the community, both individuals and businesses. A lot of that coming here to Mason High School, Crescendo Club, Volleyball Serve-a-thon, Science Olympiad. So again, always appreciate those who are helping support great opportunities for kids.
All right, thank you, Sean. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Gobbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling? Yes. 5-0.
All right, item number 11, committee reports. We have a Arts and Activities Council report.
Yes, so we were very fortunate to be able to approve some new clubs. So at Mason Middle School, we approved their pickleball club. They're very excited about that.
Nice.
And at Mason High School, we approved the Paper Projects, which is a crafts types club, Girls for Girls, Chemistry Club, and Architecture Club. So.
I will say about the pickleball club, I know Mason loves tennis, and sometimes there's been worry that tennis might like crouch into the pickleball. The pickleball wasn't going to change the lines on our tennis courts. They're going to play and have the space, but we are really excited. We know pickleball is really picking up.
Picking up.
Thank you, Tanya and Tracy. Diversity Council.
At our DEI Council, we actually helped plan for, our team helped plan Hispanic Windows and Mirrors, which you saw was really an incredible event 2 weeks ago, a beautiful celebration. And so that was wonderful, and many thanks to Michelle and all of our folks who helped. A special shout out there to the Mason Schools Foundation also, that has supported our Mirrors and Windows events by making really delicious food from El Caporal and Tortilla Garcia free. We actually had to run out and get seconds because by 6:30 it was out, so that was fantastic. We also helped plan for Indigenous Peoples Day, and so we shared kind of what our plans were, and this year we specifically our teams, our IE teams actually really centered on Your Story Matters and listened to the story of our own bus driver, Bob Cross, who talked about his Native Alaskan culture, which was really powerful, and our 5th graders helped interview him, and then that was shared throughout our district. So that was a really powerful moment. And then we really centered on our district's OKR having to do with Project 100 and really wanting to look at some of the baseline data and how who is actually involved in our activities, and if there are any gaps that we could just see right off the bat of places where we could grow in the future as we look at our clubs and activities, particularly for all of our subgroups.
Thank you, Tracy. All right, Facilities Committee.
Yes. Do I need to speak into this?
We would love it if you
I
would.
have a big mouth, so it's good. They'll hear me out on Mason Montgomery Road. We discussed renovation.
You got to get right up in there. Yep.
You really got to sing into it. It's just right up there. Yep. There you go.
Yep.
That's what you got to do.
Yep. Think karaoke at the.
I might sing a song if I get this close.
The Mason Inn there.
We discussed the HVAC renovations that we're looking at throughout the district, particularly at MI and ME in the future, and also the auditorium at the high school and the middle school, looking at the audio, visual, and lighting equipment. And our very own Katie Turfin was there to present that and did an outstanding job. And finally, the construction update. MECC's coming to a close. It will be totally finished on time by December 8th. Mason Intermediate, the outside room addition and restroom, they are already putting up walls out there. They started the interior brick walls this week. We're hoping to get started on May 1st in both of those dream labs as well
at Mason Intermediate and Mason Elementary. And then, of course, December 1st, and thank you for approving the High School Dream Lab this evening. We will start that on December 1st, and we are looking very much to getting that started. That is going to be really cool to see. So, once again, bringing great ideas to move kids forward through our facilities committee. Thank you to all involved.
Thank you, Todd. All right, Finance Committee.
So Finance Committee met to continue on with our short and long range financial planning. We looked at our 5-year forecast from our general fund, also looked at a 10-year forecast from our PI funds, so just had a chance to review those updates, and then we looked at those here a couple weeks ago in work session, and a exciting teaser for next month's board agenda. We'll have those on the agenda for approval next month.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
It's good. It's really good.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
What's so funny?
All right. Mason Schools Foundation.
We had a couple of big grants that we approved. This year we have, the foundation agreed to not only just do our general grant pool that we really ramp up in the spring and have grants that come through, but we wanted to be nimble and allow teachers when they're in classrooms, if they've started to work on something and then the big idea comes, to have a space to put through kind of mid-cycle grants as they come forward. And we had a really great grant come for an MHS AP Stats Makerspace from Steve Mays, and we were thrilled to, he had a really incredibly well-written grant, and we were thrilled to give him $3,100 to make that happen. And then to approve a concept that then everyone in the community at our Mason Schools Foundation Gala got to get in on, which was to take an idea of our Dream Center that is happening at ME and MI, and then there are classrooms that are going outside on the space there that we'd already bid on. And Dr. Cooper was in a facilities meeting with Todd and our architect and a few of us who were in there, and it just was sitting there like, man, we have to be debt-free by 2031. We can't add to this budget. We have to actually stick to these numbers. And at the same time, it was hard to imagine not being able to do all the things we really wanted to do with an outdoor extension of learning that is going to be incredible and really connect, as Kevin Wise did an amazing job at the gala of really strong-arming people to give money towards this idea. And so we raised over $25,000 to really outfit that outdoor space in a way that really goes above and beyond. So many thanks to our community for stepping up with that vision, and for the foundation to approve of that in a pretty quick turnaround, and that's the wonderful partnership that they provide. Also, just looking forward to a new website that will be coming on board for the foundation soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Thank you, Tracy. All right, that wraps up our committee reports. Item number 12 on our agenda, legislative update. Jonathan?
Yeah, so in Columbus, a lot of things have happened since our last meeting. I mean, things have happened. A lot of things might be a little overstatement, but you might have remembered in some of my past updates and also talking here that there was at one point in time there was some activity to shut down the movement of taking ODE and moving that to DEW, Department of Education and Workforce, or the DO, and so now being referred to as the department. And that is, that actually went to a court hearing on Friday of last week. They decided not to move forward on that, so that allowed Governor DeWine to move forward on his plan to implement the Department of Education and Workforce. And so here's the latest update that's going on. So he appointed Jessica Voltolini who was the current chief of staff for the Ohio Department of Education. I know Jessica well, I actually talked to her today, and so she's now overseeing the department, the DO, for the temporary moment until DeWine actually announces who's going to be overseeing the entire department. Hopefully soon we'll hear that announcement. We're anticipating that coming out soon. Underneath that person that's overseeing that will be a deputy director over education and a deputy director over workforce. So that's what that department looks like. What happened to ODE is it went away, and so now we have a state board, and so it's just a state board. The state board still has 11 elected members and 8 members who are appointed to the state board. The state board paused for the 3rd time their search for state superintendent, and they're going to bring that back up in November. So in November, they'll kick back into their search firm and looking for a state superintendent. That state board will be in charge of licensure, evaluations, investigations for disciplinary hearings, and some land transfer things. So a lot of the compliance pieces with what the state board will be responsible for moving forward. All the other responsibilities that happen at the state level will go under the department. And Chris Woolard is currently sitting in the interim superintendent position. Chris and I spoke earlier today because we're trying to work out some details for changing the report card calculations because they're just not, they don't make sense, to be honest. And they're realizing that now as they're looking at our school, because we have very large schools and we have a K-2 school, and so they're looking at rethinking that through with our team. But he is going to be moving from that position to the Department of Education and Workforce. So that's the movement all going on and what we're trying to track, because those are the people that, you know, make decisions that implement us or impact us. One question that people have asked is, with all this movement at the state level, does that mean that there will be a loss of local control with boards at local levels? It's a natural question that might come out of this. The answer is there's no intention at all to take away any local control of boards of education. Is actually to give more control to boards of education in communities is the more of the trend and movement here. So just so you heard all of that from Columbus.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Welcome.
Item number 13, administrator commentary.
Nothing for me tonight. Nothing for me.
Nothing here.
Really quick, I just want to share just some comments. This week, you know, one of the greatest and richest resources and the greatest thing that we have going for us as a district, there's a lot of great things. I mean, you heard tonight the Mason Moments, you heard the National Merit Scholars. If you were in this room with us tonight, you'd look up and see this wall of all the National Merit Scholars. We had so many that we've actually had to move some things on the wall so we could get more up on the wall. So there's just so much to celebrate. Well, one of the things I would say that we have that's one of our just greatest gifts is the diversity in our district. And not just diversity, but international diversity. We have people from every part of Earth coming here, and that brings in a great gift of experiences when we get to hear the experience tonight of a young person who had a difficult experience in a different country and culture, and just for us to hear and understand and have empathy for a global community. And then it also brings huge responsibility for us as a board and as administration to serve well and to always be thinking of how we can be as inclusive as possible so everyone feels safe and supported in our schools. And you know, over the past week, we've had lots of conversations, and I personally have had lots of conversations with families in our community and just heard the hurt and the pain that just sits on their heavy hearts. Some of those conversations even ending in tears and hugs. And I share that with you just to I guess reiterate that the people serving here in Mason, we're definitely not perfect, but we definitely have hearts for people in our community, and we love the people in our community, and we want to do that well. And when we don't get that right, we want to step up and do well. And so that's part of our journey with our family and friends here, is to love people and to reassure our families that all of their students are safe in our schools. You know, I'm a father of 4 kids, and being a father here in the district is also another layer in privilege. I have been talking with my own kids about how they can look around and look for ways to love other people and to serve other people in our community. And that conversation, I encourage, if you're a parent and you're listening to this, and I hope people listen to this, I encourage you to have those conversations with your kids. We want to be a safe place. We want to be a place of peace in our community, and we want our kids are our greatest asset, them to carry on our future and live out comic culture in the way that we treat each other and that we care for each other. So as we talk to our kids, sometimes those conversations seem overwhelming as parents, and if that is the case, we have resources, we have support, we're here for you to walk through that with you. I believe in side-by-side parenting. A lot of times I just take a walk with my kids and talk with them. That's a great strategy. It doesn't seem as confrontational. But please, whatever you do, open the conversation and talk with our kids. And emphasize at the end of the day, no matter what the conflicts are around the world, in here we want our focus to be about caring and compassion for each other and how do we serve each other. And that's through listening, curiosity, caring, and patience with each other. So I just hope that that message continues to have ripples through our community. I think that's who we truly are. I believe that's who we truly are, and I hope that that continues to make its way to our homes. So as we move forward, know that we have families and we have friends who have lost family and friends around the world and the conflicts that are going on that we see on TV every day. Be sensitive to that. Look for our neighbors and our friends to love them, care for them, and make sure they feel included and safe here. Thanks.
Thank you, Jonathan. All right. Next item on our agenda is board commentary. Ian?
Well, this is sort of special for me because this meeting last year I wasn't able to attend. I had a work commitment, so just being in this room and seeing the National Merit Scholars and their families. Today was the day that the juniors took the PSAT, so I have a junior who took the PSAT today, and she very much wants to be sitting in this room next year, so I can I can empathize with those emotions and what these parents felt. Not that your child's performance by any means is measured by any test, but if that's what they want and how they want to be recognized, I'm grateful to serve in a district where we can recognize and have this many students reach that academic level. But it also makes me think about the students who don't, and how we recognize them. And as long as they are trying to achieve to the level of their ability and their desire to get where they want to go in life, I think we've done what we want to do as a district. So, we do these things for these extraordinary achievements, but for some of our students, walking across the stage is just as important as what happened here. So if you're watching, or if you're here and that's one of your students, they are not less than because they did not achieve to this level. Most of our students, we've got almost 4,000 kids in this high school, don't achieve to this level. So we appreciate each and every one of you and congratulate you on your successes in your educational career. Fall sports is winding down, so we've had some disappointment and some postseason losses. I know the girls' soccer team lost last night in a nail biter on PKs after double overtime. So congratulations to those young women. I think our Ultimate Frisbee team is prepping to go to state again for the fall. Cross country's in the district phase, I think now. We've won regionals, both boys and girls. And shout out to a special 8th grade cross country team. A young man by the name of Logan Nix won the meet, and I had the pleasure of coaching him.
Nice.
In basketball 2 years ago. So congratulations, Logan, way to go. And then I wanted to just take a minute to talk about the mirrors and windows. We're a little late, my wife and I, because we had parent-teacher conferences, but when we got there, and we've been to quite a few of these, I don't know that we could hear the sound from the other ones from the parking lot when we pulled up. And my wife and I look at each other and we were like, oh, that's a party going on in there. And sure enough, it was a wonderful experience to see not only the turnout, but the energy that was shared and the culture that was shared just so authentically and genuinely in our school district. And it's because we were intentional about exposing one another to each other's cultures. And that kind of leads me to the final thought and kind of dovetailing off of what Jonathan said, which is, diversity is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing, and we are grateful that diverse people with diverse histories, cultures, and stories choose to live here and go to school here in Mason, but it also brings complexities because we have histories and stories and voices, and at times those histories, stories, and voices can come into conflict, not necessarily in Mason, but around the globe. And I think our impulse is to create a protective bubble and say, well, we want to push the world as far out of here as we can, because we just want to be a learning community dedicated to, academic rigor and learning. But we can't, because our family members, our friends, our loved ones are affected by these events. And so it matters when we, in our guiding documents, say things like, hey, we want to talk to each other and not talk about each other, that we tell each other that we want to, have our North Star when we are portrait of a comet, is empathetic, and they have integrity, and they communicate, and they're a critical thinker, because the opportunity that we have here is to be a leader, to be an example to the world at large, that seemingly opposing views can sit down and still live and love together while sharing their views. I was reading my favorite newspaper, the Chronicle, and I wanted to get this quote right. There's a great op-ed, and so if you don't read the Chronicle, you absolutely should. It's probably one of the best newspapers in Warren County. And Ruhi Canaria wrote this in their final paragraph of their op-ed, and they named the op-ed, "What Really is Comic Culture?" They say, "I believe there is still room for improvement in the way we can use branding, social media, and marketing. I know such items are necessary to maintain a presence in the community. However, I ask that rather than scrolling past a post from Mason, let's focus on actually embodying those values rather than being the school presented in an Instagram square or tagline. Let's be the school who truly displays a culture and shares authentic moments." I could not agree more. And so that's our challenge, is to be those things, to embody those things, to lead by example. And so one of the biggest things you can do when that doesn't happen is stand up and say, hey, I fell short on my goal, and I think we've done that. And so our dedication to doing better is what will define us moving forward and the choices that we make. So hopefully we can get some healing out of this process. It sounds like we need that with some of our community. So we are here. I think we've reiterated that. And so please reach out to whomever you feel comfortable, and let's sit down and have that dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Kevin?
Well said, Ian. I'll let your words stand, and especially the quote there at the end of the op-ed. I think that makes a lot of sense. I do want to compliment and thank all the volunteers that were able to pull off the Mason Schools Foundation Gala on Saturday. I don't know how much they raised. It really, it was a really successful event, I know, and it sets up the foundation to make some important grants to the district that I know are lots of people waiting to find out how those are going to play out. I also just want to compliment and thank there's more and more members or not members, but donors in the foundation family who are stepping up to higher levels. And I think that's important. Many of us do other events and see large dollar amounts go in, and maybe the foundation doesn't tug at heartstrings like some other events do, but one of the things that the foundation absolutely is, and I used to say this 15 years ago, it was more of a hopeful comment, which was the foundation's going to be here for 100 years. It's building deep roots in this community to be able to provide this community unique value in partnership with the schools. And, I think really it's not as much hope now. It's still a lot of work, but 15 years or so in, it's really taken off, and I think something that this community who's donating right now can be proud of, being an early part of those deep roots. So thanks to all those volunteers that made that happen. I like to remind the community that if you look at the plaques up on the wall here, when we're in the large commons here, if you look at the plaques, these are all the National Merit scholars that have been recognized over the years, and it really goes all the way. There's a place to put a bunch more plaques up here, and I think about plaques that someday will be way over here in the 2030s, 2040s, and I go all the way back to the beginning because one of our former board members, Mary Ann Culbertson, really was the first strong voice to point out the importance of the high school getting behind all the elements necessary for to set up students for this kind of recognition. And so we do thank her and all the staff at this high school that have made this possible. And all the students today we're very proud of, as I said before, but the ones that have come before and the ones over here that one day will be up here on this wall as well. I also can't let, you mentioned fall sports, Ian, but I got to tell you, the girls' tennis team won state again, and that's 7 in a row. And these young women now have also got this, 7 years ago, you talk about a long green line,
Yeah.
that's part of it. That's one of the brightest parts of that green line. And those women are also some of the most outstanding students and well-rounded students. They're off doing great things, and so we just congratulate this year's team for that accomplishment and thank Coach Reed for being a part of every one of those 7 championships. So that's it.
Thank you, Kevin. Connie?
We've had a rather full evening tonight. A lot of students that we recognized for their hard work and accomplishments. But the one thing that struck me, it strikes me every time we do this every year, how different they all are, how many different interests. If you read the answers to the questions up on the slideshow tonight, what is the one thing that you wish people knew about you, or what was the one thing that you'd rather do more than anything else? I couldn't believe someone still loves the Seinfeld show, but they do, And the point I'm making is that Mason has, as Ian mentioned, we have our own storied history. We have our own sets of accomplishments. We have our own culture. And it really does hurt me to see young people, very young people in particular, come up to the microphone and tell us of the pains that they experience every day. And the one thing I would just ask of all of us, whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever your role is just challenge yourself to be the best you that you can be every day. And just think about those words. I'll leave it at that tonight.
Thanks, Connie. Desiree?
To kind of piggyback on what Kevin mentioned, we were chuckling during one of the breaks that my husband graduated from Mason in 80 something, and his plaque, the text is about this big of the merit scholars. So it is amazing to see 3 columns of merit scholars that come from this school. Also, I always appreciate the public coming to a school board meeting. And I know that that is not an easy choice to make, and it's not easy to stand in front of the board at a microphone and speak your heart. So it does not fall on deaf ears, and there are other opportunities to have dialogue for what you're feeling and what you believe needs to be done. And but I do want you to know that we do appreciate your willingness to come here and share your heart with us in a public forum. So I respect that very much. On that note, I every year I've been on the board, the girls tennis team and Coach Reed has been in front of us. So I look forward to that superintendent's presentation in the future.
That's good. That's good.
Well, thank you, Desiree. And thank you again to all of our members of the public that came tonight to celebrate the achievements of some of our hardest working students in the district, and to those who came to share their thoughts, their concerns, and what was on their heart tonight. I know that we are always, as you know, I reiterated earlier, interested and looking to hear from those in our community, and we look forward to continuing that conversation with those of you who are willing to take up that opportunity with our team. I also want to sort of recognize that this is the final board meeting before we have a election coming up for local candidates, statewide issues. To those who have not done so already, I would encourage you to get out and vote. I know we have a couple of folks for school board on the ballot. I know we have Ms. Timmons here tonight. We have our fellow board member Desiree Batchy, and then I know Matt Steele, who's probably watching from afar, is on the ballot as well. So wish all of you the best of luck, and also to the other candidates in our local races. And then just lastly, I want to just commend again the achievements and the seasons that our fall sports teams have had. A lot of stuff that really makes you take a step back and appreciate that you see and hear of the long green line, the state championships and things like that. All of those achievements and things, though, are byproducts of the habits and the commitment and the work ethic that those individual students, their coaches, their families, their parents put in, to a lifetime commitment to a sport or an activity. And it kind of ties in again to the national merit recognition, the commended scholar recognition that we're here for tonight, but also the families that came to share the hurt and the pain that they were feeling tonight. I couldn't help but feel that at the very beginning of our meeting, it was, it's something that we always start with when we all rise and turn and find the flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance. But for some reason tonight, it felt more poignant that in this room, it felt like a moment where wherever we were coming from, whatever we were coming to the meeting with on our minds, on our hearts, it was a moment and a point of reflection for me personally. That was sort of a unifying experience and a reminder of what a blessing it is, for all of us, wherever we come from, whatever our history and personal story is, that we've chosen to be here, not only in this country, but in this school district. And that's something that, regardless of the diversity of our district and the stories that we each bring to the table, it's something that we should all keep in mind and remember as a common thread throughout the district, a green thread, if you will, that whatever it is that's brought us here, we've chosen to be here, and we are all committed to those ideals of comic culture, high though they may be and challenging though they may be to always reach. So with that, I will move to adjourn our meeting tonight.
So, second.
All in favor?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.